Saliba, Gabriel, Trossard. Arsenal injury latest and return dates before Brentford match. Arsenal still have several injury concerns ahead of their match against Brentford, which includes absences for their first-choice centre-back pairing of Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba. Arsenal are still set to miss some key players over the next few weeks of action, even with several stars making a return from injury. It comes after the Gunners managed to get through an intense week, which included clashes with Tottenham, Bayern Munich and Chelsea. With 2 wins and 1 draw in that time, attention quickly turns back towards the Premier League and another London derby against Brentford. The Gunners welcome the Bees to the Emirates Stadium in a clash that they will expect to get 3 points from, to continue building a gap at the top of the table. Recent returns for Noni Madueke, Gabriel Martinelli, Martin Odegaard, and Victor Gyökeres have all come as major boosts to the side for the busy festive fixture schedule. However, some key stars are still missing, and a few others are undergoing tests to determine the extent of their injuries. So, with that said, here is a look at the latest Arsenal injury news ahead of the clash with Brentford. William Saliba was a surprise absence over the weekend, as he missed out on Arsenal's clash with Chelsea in the London derby at Stamford Bridge. The defender picked up a knock in training before the game, which meant he was unable to feature at all, bringing in a centre-back pairing of Christian Mosquera and Piero Hincapié as a result. The defender is set to undergo scans and tests to understand the full extent of his injury, which will determine how long he is out for. What Arteta has said: "I think he has got another test tomorrow. Will he see to the extent of that feeling, that sensation that he had, and we will know more." Predicted return date for William Saliba is unknown, Mikel Arteta said. With all of the injury troubles this season, Leandro Trossard has been a key part of the forward line, keeping things together in the absence of others. However, his injury against Bayern Munich meant he was out of action against Chelsea over the weekend, while it's unclear whether he will be back for Brentford. What Arteta has said: "We have to see how he's feeling. It does not look much. So, we still have a few hours, and we have to wait and see. He could be available for Chelsea. It is a potential." Predicted return date for Leandro Trossard is Brentford game, which is on December 3rd. Gabriel Magalhaes is a key miss for Arsenal, as the defender suffered a thigh injury while on international duty with Brazil. The centre-back is expected to miss 1 or 2 months of action, meaning he could be back just before or after the new calendar year. What Arteta has said is, "I think he is evolving really well. We have to wait for the scan to be more precise in terms of the timings. I'm quite confident, especially the way Gabby takes every injury and the way he's going to push." Predicted return date will be December 2025. It's been a tough season for Kai Havertz so far, who has been out of action with a knee issue. The forward required an operation on his knee, which was expected to recover by now, but it seems as though a recent setback is set to keep him out for a little while longer. What Arteta has said is not yet, but they are getting closer and closer, so we are very positive with both Havertz and Gyökeres of them. The predicted return date will be December 2025. After nearly a whole year out, Gabriel Jesus finally made his way back into an Arsenal matchday squad. The forward has recovered from injury, but he is yet to make an appearance, as it is expected that Arteta will ease the Brazilian back into action in a measured manner. There is going to be something of an overhaul of players at Arsenal Football Club in the next few months. Whether it is this month or in the summer transfer window, a number of players are going to be leaving the club as Mikel Arteta looks to change his plans and overhaul his playing squad. Arsenal give an unquestionable offside verdict after Chelsea goal scrutinised amid Enzo moment. Arsenal were frustrated by Chelsea on Sunday afternoon, but there was no end of controversy as Mikel Arteta again came into focus. 3 big matches ended with 2 wins and a draw, and despite the unbeaten record extending to 17 matches, there was still a sour taste in the mouth for many come full time. However, one of the talking points, which was brought into focus after the game, more so than during, was Trevoh Chalobah's goal and the involvement of Enzo Fernandez. The Argentine was standing in an offside position when the defender made contact with the ball, and Christian Mosquera's position has led to arguments that he was impacted by the midfielder making movements toward the ball. Arsenal have the chance to extend their lead at the top of the Premier League table on Wednesday evening when they face Brentford at the Emirates Stadium, but they may be without William Saliba. Arsenal could be without William Saliba when they face Brentford in the Premier League on Wednesday. The Frenchman missed out on Sunday's trip to Stamford Bridge, a result of a knock sustained in training. Speaking about Saliba's absence, Mikel Arteta said of the centre-half, "Yesterday in training, he was uncomfortable, so we need to explore a little bit more what happened." A pairing of Piero Hincapié and Christian Mosquera was utilised in the heart of defence instead, as Chelsea and Arsenal played out a 1-1 draw in West London. Moises Caicedo was shown an early exit from the match, just ahead of the break for a late challenge above the ankle of Mikel Merino. Trevoh Chalobah then opened the scoring for the hosts 3 minutes into the second half, nodding a looping header past David Raya at the front post from a corner. The Premier League leaders weren't behind for long, however, with Merino scoring with a header of his own up the other side of the pitch with 59 minutes played. It came as just the second match of the season that Saliba had missed for Arsenal this season, featuring in each game, barring the Gunners' 3-0 win over Nottingham Forest in September after an ankle injury. After his knock, Saliba is now set to undergo scans and tests to discover the full extent of his injury, which will in turn determine how long he is out for. Speaking about the player, Arteta said, "I think he has got another test tomorrow. Will he see to the extent of that feeling, that sensation that he had, and we will know more." While he could be fit to start against Brentford, it seems a little early to call given how there has been very little else said about Saliba's situation following the Chelsea match. Fontas Premier League gives Saliba a 75% chance of playing against Brentford this week, despite the extent of his knock still being unknown. It could be a huge blow for players, given that the star has been instrumental in Arsenal's success this season, and has managed to help his side keep 5 clean sheets in the Premier League. Thanks for watching.